Hello, Mrs. Campos. Welcome to my office. My name is Miss Michelle Adler, and I'm here to assist you with any of your needs today. Feel free to, explain whatever you are going through as comfortable as you feel to do. I'm going to let you know that everything that we speak about here is confidential, and don't worry about confidentiality because everything here stays here. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me why you came to my office today, Mrs. Campos?
Well, I've been having a little problem, well, a big problem. I decided to seek help from a professional counselor because my husband is cheating on me. So that's why I came. He comes late at night almost every day, and I ask him where he's been, and he says he's been at work, that he's working late, every day. So I've been all of a sudden the phone rings and he has to leave right away, so that really is of concern to me because I'm not too sure. Well, possibly he's cheating. That's what I come to realize.
Now, let me ask you, Mrs. Campos, do you and your husband, do you have open communication between each other?
Well, we did, but now it's like we're not talking as much to each other as we usually did. That's why I think that he's cheating on me. And also, an incident happened where he had I was going to do laundry, and I saw lipstick on his collar, and that made me think that he was possibly with the opposite sex.
I can understand how this makes you feel, Mrs. Campos, that it is very hard, especially when you're married and you see that your spouse is possibly seeing somebody else. That must make you feel it's real hard to accept that. And what I would suggest is, from what I can tell, what I would like is for your husband to come in so I can give marriage and family therapy. I feel that if I can have both of you and incorporate therapy to both of you, like for instance, I would give cognitive behavior therapy to both of you, and just kind of modifying certain behaviors, helping you, educating you both on how to do that. You correct what needs to be corrected, but it is not an easy process. It does take time, and I think the best solution is to include both of you. And
about how long does it take?
Depending on the process, and your husband needs to be very cooperative. There could be, process. It's a process. It may take anywhere from, I would say, maybe 6 months to a year. It could be shorter, depending how dedicated and how much both of you engage. But I sincerely think that if he was included, that it would be that more beneficial, because before, I can tell you and give you therapy on what to do, but it needs to be a team effort. That way we can help your marriage. And I would suggest one of the goals, for example, that I would suggest for your husband and you is, for example, I want both of you to, this is what I would say, but I need him included to come into therapy. I would say have open communication, for example, as a goal. open communication for 1 month. Also, I would have a forgiveness treatment for 1 month. That's where you learn to openly accept what has happened and learn to forgive each other openly. Another goal I would suggest is attending church and praying together for 1 month. If you have a faith, I highly recommend that you incorporate that faith to help build and strengthen your marriage. Do you have any questions on any of the goals, Ms. Campos?
Well, I'm unsure that I'm unsure about him wanting to come to therapy or making him come to therapy. Hopefully, I'll make him come so that we can start communicating with each other, because we have not been communicating too well.
And I understand how I said that it is very difficult for you right now, but to be more beneficial for this therapy process, we need to include Mr. Campos as well. That way we can work on building your marriage and building the foundation of that marriage. Another thing is, I mentioned the techniques. I would highly recommend that we use cognitive behavior therapy, as I explained before, as an intervention. And another thing I would suggest is maybe having more time with one another. Maybe he has a busy schedule and that may be an issue as well. Maybe you need to make, for example, a date night twice a week, have more time to each other. When you have time with one another, you're able to open communicate, you're able to share experiences and talk about what's going on in your life, and that's very important to incorporate in a marriage. Trust and unity. Another thing is that I would suggest, but I need Mr. Campos present, is if I do, like for example, I would even assign homework assignments for you all to help with your marriage. And an example of a homework assignment is I would want you to pray together. Maybe, for example, go to, you read the Bible and you find scriptures you like and read them with one another. Another example for homework assignment is to communicate, and as I explained earlier, the forgiveness treatment, learn to openly forgive one another and not have so much, let's say for example, whether it's a grudge or anger, it needs to cease in order for this marriage to work. So, you need to learn to forgive him and he needs to learn to forgive you. That's what I recommend. Do you have any questions on what I've explained?
No, I'm more or less understand what you're saying, where you're coming from. I will try to bring him so that he can start communicating with me and we can start talking to each other, because lately we haven't been communicating, we haven't been going out together, doing things that we like together as a whole, both of us doing things that we really like to do, because we usually don't give ourselves time to enjoy the things that we should like to do, or we need to enjoy all of this, like going on a vacation together, or enjoy a movie together, or going dancing together. Maybe we need to try to make a little pact where we can do things that he likes, and I can do things, or he can do things that I like. So
That's a good, I really appreciate you opening up about that, because we could use that, we can utilize that later when Mr. Campos is present. That would be an excellent idea for homework assignment.
we need to compromise.
To compromise, to do things that you like and that he likes. And I see that the issues are communication. Another issue is not having time for each other. And another one is possibly he's having an affair. Those are 3 issues that I see that are hindering the marriage. So when you can, Mrs. Campos, I would like to see you possibly by next week, if you can make it during the same time,
Yes, ma'am.
and see if Mr. Campos can be present for this counseling session, because it would really help a lot.
I will try to see if he can come, so we can try to work things out, try to iron things out between us so that our marriage can work.
Do you have any other questions, Mrs. Campos, about the counseling process, or about what I explained, the goals, the intervention, or the homework assignments? Do you have any questions about anything?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I think I more or less understood everything.
Okay. Well, Mrs. Campos, this will conclude our counseling session for today. I appreciate you coming into my office, and I will see you next week.
Oh, thank you very much, Miss Adler. I really enjoyed talking to you and sharing the different ideas that you have, which will come in handy in my marriage, in our marriage. Because
Okay.
it's between both.
Okay, have a great day, Mrs. Campos, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.